California, they passed a law recently that you can literally focus on transgender reassignment without parental consent. And the parent doesn't even have to know. Dude, if you want to chop your little child's balls.
No, stop. We're changing the topic.
We're changing the topic.
Okay.
I started with doing Instagram lives. I would do like 4-hour Instagram lives with like 20 people watching me, and we would talk about like the stuff that I talk about today. And I've been talking about this stuff since 2019, 2020. And I think it's just practice. That's the first thing. The second thing.
Were you social in high school? Like, were you like
generally? No, I only had like 2 or 3 friends. Like, I kind of did my own thing. I played mostly sports. I went outside. I did kind of like my thing with my brothers. And that was pretty much it. Like, I wasn't very much, I'm not a party guy. I'm kind of do my own thing. And that was kind of like the entire scenario. But I think in some way, shape, or form, that was beneficial because you don't have certain levels of distractions that allow you to kind of level up. And that level up is what allows to develop skills like oration or thinking. Thinking itself is a skill. So a lot of people are on autopilot and they don't use their thinking. They have the most powerful processor, right, available to them, and they're not using them. I still believe 100% the human mind is a lot more powerful than any sort of AI, because you can not only tap into what is this physical realm and your consciousness, but you can tap into ethereal realms, and you can tap into different realities, and you can tap into different frequencies. And I think that is also extremely important, because you're in a situation now where people are running autopilot. And I think if you can develop those skills like thinking, oration, they're going to come from constant repetition, which is extremely important training, and exposing yourself to scenarios that are going to push you to grow. It's like snowboarding, dude. It's like literally the same thing. You have to get yourself beat up on the slopes. You can't fake it. It's one of those things, like, you can't fake certain skills. They come with practice and repetition. And people aren't willing to commit to one thing and see it through, like consistently work on it and become really, really good. So people got to stick to some lane. And like you said, bro, AI is one of those lanes that you better get on.
I think for me, I read the book Great Gatsby. And he was like down bad when he started, but then he like consciously studied how to talk, how to like phrase things, how to actually like persuade people. And for me in high school, just seeing that he had to consciously try to become better and to learn that thing, like, it sounds so dumb, but like flipped a switch in my mind. Like, I should be consciously learning specific things that I think I want to be better at, because I want to be better at it. Where school's giving you like a list of what they think you should be good at, and most people just hate that, reject it.
What they want you to be good at. What they want you to be good at, because you are human capital. So you're an expendable resource of energy.
This is why I push back.
Okay, tell me why.
Everybody in that school system is being manipulated.
100%.
So you can't. These people are going to be they're going to go to their teachers and be like, "You're the Matrix," but the teacher is just doing what she thinks is best because the principal thinks what he's doing what he thinks is best.
Yeah, but it's very much
evil is way higher than these people actually even know. That for 17 and 18-year-olds, I think it's more important to focus on actually just motivating self-learning.
I agree with you. I agree with self-learning
and your ethereal stuff too.
Like, you
get there because now you have millions and you can do.
You have the ability to
learn about.
I understand.
It.
I understand.
Most
There's
people
a process.
Aren't there yet.
I agree.
I'm just getting.
But
there, maybe.
here's where I would like argue the thought of, because you're ignorant on the result of your actions, you're not guilty, right? And I think that there is a level of responsibility that, as for example, a teacher, you need to understand that as a teacher, you're there to educate. Dude, all these teachers have great intentions, bro. They're fucking amazing people.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean that the curriculum that they're teaching is good.
But they're not conscious enough either, because they're in the Matrix too.
Understood. So the point is, that's why I don't say people. That's why I say the system, because it's fundamentally a system that is designed by not one person, not 2 people. It's something that kind of, like you said, people see, monkey do. And it's just a repetition of a cycle of snowballing.
And your environment and the 100%. Parents you're around when your parents don't have a great life.
It's a big of everything. If I went to
college, I would have got a degree, then my life would have been way better. And that's what they associate their lack for.
Imagine all these teachers, right? They go into debt 30, 40, 50,000 to go make 30, 40, 50,000. Most of them, they're fucking passionate. My 5th grade teacher was amazing. She was out there hustling. I went back, I visited her a decade later. She was still teaching 5th grade, right? So boss. Absolute boss.
Respect.
Yeah,
hero.
Massive respect. Yeah. But now the question is, where did you get the term hero from? You were told teachers were heroes. You were told doctors were heroes.
That is so true, and it's still in me.
And you perceive them that way when in reality, the 2nd or 3rd largest cause of deaths in America is medical malpractice, right? So that you call them heroes because you're told to call them heroes, when in fact they're just people doing their job. We are supposed to question how people do their job.
I think we say that because they don't get paid very well, and they're like serving others.
Yeah.
Mainly. That's why.
That's a big thing.
School.
That's a big thing. I think teachers should be paid extremely better. That is 100% true.
But more so, I feel it should be like there should be less teachers and everybody should be learning from the best people in their fields, essentially. And then
You would centralize information too much that way.
I agree, but at the same time, how like there's such the level of talent in teachers,
but just
and
imagine the amount of
lower income-
philosophies around the same topic, dude.
But imagine but like for elementary school, like I get that and it's dangerous, like saying the Pledge of Allegiance every day, like
that's nuts.
it's nuts. But it's total tangent. But just the level of quality of teachers in lower income areas and higher income, private and public, like there's a lot of disparate.
The discrepancy is huge on the quality of education.
Yeah,
and that's all on purpose. That's 100% on purpose. Dude, everything is on purpose.
Evil. I get it. I don't think it's that evil. Maybe I'm just an optimistic guy. And
you are an optimistic guy. I'm an optimistic guy as well. That's why I'm so focused on making sure that these 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, when they get on YouTube, which is the other half of their day,
I want to talk about this, yes,
that they're listening to another voice and another opinion. And it's for them to understand that it's literally just an opinion, and that their goal is to gain as many opinions as possible to be able to form a worldview that sustains and elevates their fullest potential. Whether it's Luke or it's not Luke.
But it's YouTube.
YouTube is huge,
We
dude.
were the first. The reason I am where I am today is because we are the first generation where we had computers day one, we had internet day one, and we had YouTube day one. So in second grade, if I had a question, I could YouTube it. If I was curious about how to play a certain video game and learn a certain hack, I could YouTube it. If I wanted a life philosophy, ancient civilizations, any conspiracy, I could YouTube it. If my parents wanted to learn any of that, they had to drive 30 minutes to a library, sort through 7,000 books, pick 3, read through 300 pages to answer maybe one kind of in the same context. That's how long it took them to learn one thing. Where we have been, since the start of our brain development, able to use YouTube. So, the point I'm trying to make, if you're a kid, or you're in a high school, or you're trying to be successful, you need to be self-motivated to learn and learn everything you want on YouTube, and make sure all of your friends are doing that too. Do not rely on the school system. You're not doing enough.
Yes, but then also understanding
the algorithm.
Also understanding that YouTube is washed, right? Like the videos that are allowed on different social platforms, like when you hit any term, let's say you hit entrepreneurship skills to learn.
I'm talking about hard skills, life lessons.
Yeah.
Not
okay.
the truth of the universe.
Okay. Okay. I understand. Okay. Yes. Then you could learn any hard skill you can learn on YouTube. Any trait you can learn on YouTube. Like you could learn how to become an electrician,
mechanic,
a plumber,
anything.
a mechanic.
Just find people that have that problem.
An orator. Like you can become, when it comes to skill based, you can learn a ton of stuff on YouTube.
Video.
When it comes to the physical reality, 100%. Now, if you want to talk existential stuff and the system and all this shit, no, not even, bro. Don't go to Gaia. Don't go to Gaia.
Don't go to
Gaia. Go to you have to do your research. You have to go to multiple platforms. You have to listen to multiple people. And books are also important, because what we also need to understand is that we can't just rely on other people for information for them to take. Somebody learned that information.
There's an
right?
agenda.
Somebody,
pieces.
Correct. So somebody learned that information and they kind of reframed it and put it in a way that suits them, their audience, and things like that.
That's my YouTube channel. We were talking about this the other day. I listened to the CEOs of AI companies and say it so normal people can understand it.
Yeah. And the goal is to have that, but to also question those creators 100%. And to question those trains of thought. And the same thing is with teachers.
But if you study psychology, you read these books, you can identify what.
But isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that I like the culture of the internet because it's very raw, and it's raw because we're like, let's say I could consider you somebody that educates teenagers and mid-adults on tech trends, on entrepreneurship, on business and lifestyle. I think I could call you a teacher in these things.
Yeah.
But people can question you and shit on you if they want to.
I get it all the time.
If you were a teacher in a school,
no, you can't.
You're not allowed to.
That's fair enough.
Right? You can't question. And it's the same thing not only with teachers, it's also with parents. There's a system and no, you can't question. But questioning...
my mom was by my side. She'd come in the room and yell.
But questioning allows the teacher to improve, and it keeps the teacher accountable. Mm-hmm. Right? We see so many instances where YouTubers are held accountable for the things they say or the things that they do.
Live stream their classes every day, like 24/7, like for the kids' parents. Interesting.
But there's a lot of secrecy right now happening between like the school system and like the parental figures having access to like information and things of this nature. Like you can, in California, they passed a law recently that you can literally focus on transgender reassignment without parental consent, being a minor, and the parent doesn't even have to know. So
I'm not going into this topic.
So we're not going to go into this topic.
Kids are not going to public schools.
But the point is, it's there, right? And people need to be aware and they need to be cautious. I'm not here to, dude. If you want to chop your little child's balls,
no, stop. We're changing the topic.
We're changing the topic.
Okay.